Now, just the other day, one of the members inside the Upgrade to Life community asked the question, well, if I'm consciousness, if I can select states, if every potential state is already within me, within my consciousness, within my imagination, wouldn't it be possible that I just declare something? Wouldn't it be possible that I just decide something to be in a state? And the answer that me and some other members gave is absolutely 100% yes. Right? And in this video, we're going to talk about techniques, and you're going to find out that techniques are not the cause. The techniques are helpful tools to shift 100%. And I also personally do prefer to utilize consciously some of the techniques that we also talk about here on the channel. Those are very, very powerful, very, very potent techniques. But at the end, it's not about the techniques, because it is about what you use awareness shift into, what you identify yourself with. And that is what we're going to discover more in this video. And this is what Neville Goddard said. But he said, I am is that reality to which, whatever happens, we must turn for an explanation of the phenomena of life, but also for a change. If we want to change the phenomena, if we want to change the circumstance of our life, we must turn to ourselves, right? It is I am's concept of itself. It is what I am are identified with. Not you as a person, you as awareness, what you are consenting to be is true for yourself and your world, right? What you're dwelling on, what you're identified with, your core assumptions about the world and who you are, that is going to determine the scenery in the outside circumstances. So let's talk about the techniques, and that you are the only cause, and that declaring and deciding is fully enough in order to shift the state. Now, first of all, here's the agenda for today. I want to talk with you about some misconceptions about the real cause. Again, because a lot of people think that, oh, I manifested this because I scripted. I manifested this because I said 1,000 affirmations. I manifested this because I heard it in my imagination. Right? I manifested this because I had a vision board. So we're going to talk about those misconceptions. We're going to talk about some quotes from Neville, where he also touched base on this topic of techniques and the real cause. And then I'm going to give you my conclusion so that you feel more free, so that you feel less dependent on techniques. Although, again, those are wonderful tools. So let's just dive right in. And here's some misconceptions. Right? People believe that the affirmations are the cause. I am financially abundant. I am secure. I am loved. I am with my specific person. I am healthy. Oh, now I'm healthy. Yeah, it was because, you have to do 100 affirmations, and that will also bring you the same results. They give credit to, the tool. They give too much credit to the technique itself. Or people believe that visualizations are the cause. People believe that the meditations are the cause. That the signs are the cause. Right? I saw this, so I knew it's going to happen. And then 3 months later, 1 month later, 1 week later, it happened. So it's about the signs, it's about the visualizations, the affirmations. People think they have to do the techniques perfectly. Because again, they still think, people believe that techniques are the cause for the manifestations and attainment of their goal. And that is the, let's just say, well-spread misconception that is out there. But we are going to discover right now that I am the cause. Right? Who is applying that technique? Right? What is the technique doing? The technique helps you to shift the state, but essentially what we shift is we shift our awareness, we shift our attention, we shift ourselves into that state. We identify ourselves with that state of the wish fulfilled, and then we know that this is going to be expressed and manifested. And the technique, like an affirmation, like a scene that implies that is potent, right? That works very, very well. But at the end, the cause for the manifestation is not the technique. The cause is you, because you shifted in that new state. So no matter what appears on the outside, I am the cause of the phenomena of life. No matter what it appears to be, it can't be another. If I will accept that fully, assume full responsibility for all the things I observe, what I do not like, know I'm causing it, and that I have the power to resolve it. Again, even if you don't like what is happening, if you accept that, okay, it comes from your current state, but if you also understand that you have the power to resolve it, to resolve that seemingly set in stone problem, that you can change it and exercise that power and see it change my world. If I'm willing to assume that responsibility, I am set free. right? If you know that, again, it has to do with awareness that is always dwelling in a certain state, which is then always expressed in our world, and that techniques can help us to anchor our awareness in a new state, which is then expressed. That at the end, it is awareness, us, ourselves, giving ourselves into a new state. Therefore, the technique is not the cause. But we are the cause, the I amness, our awareness, that creative power that flows through us, our true self. No one wants to feel that he is solely responsible for the conditions of his life, yet there is no other cause. The only cause is man's own wonderful imagination. When you know that consciousness is the one and only reality, conceiving itself to be something good, bad, or indifferent, and becoming that which it conceives itself to be, you are free from the tyranny of second causes, free from the belief that there are causes outside of your own mind that can affect your life. So the key here, right, when you know that consciousness, which is who you are, right, who is listening to my words right now? You say my ears. Okay, but what is aware of that? Right, your thoughts, the thoughts that you're having right now, to whom are those thoughts appearing? Who's aware of those thoughts? You, with a capital Y, you as awareness. I am that. Right? And it's that awareness that is conceiving itself to be something. It is that awareness that is always like dwelling somewhere, that is always like identified with certain things. And those are the things that are expressed in our world. When it's always that awareness that moves first into like an experience, and then also the outer us, right? Our outer self is like it's in a sense compelled. It is like it moves under. It has to move. If we move first within an awareness, if I right now would dwell in, visiting my friend, if I would now dwell in being on the beach, if I would now dwell in hearing that congratulation, if I would now dwell in being in the park, going for a walk, then my outer self, under compulsion, right, would also have to move, and at the end also end up where I first have been within, in reality, in consciousness. And the outside is the reflection, and I also will be moved here where I first moved within, right? But the real cause is that awareness, not the technique I use to put myself in a state of the wish fulfilled, right? We use just the techniques as tools to put ourselves in that accomplished state, in that accomplished mood of now having what we desired. But at the end, what moves, what shifts, what leads to the manifestation is not the technique. It is awareness. We simply used words or technique or something that helped us to apply the shift in awareness. I hope that this makes sense. It's very important. So again, the conclusion here, and it does not need to be more complicated than this, because remember, there's one member in the program who asked, hey, so can I, if that's true, and she already manifested like a lot of things, so now if that's all true, couldn't I just like declare and decide something? And of course, yes, because the decision is also a shift, which I said here, right? Yes, you can also just declare something as true for yourself. Just decide, just shift, right? You can just shift because you are that awareness regardless. You can now just shift. Self-empower yourself to the degree, and again, that's why I wrote in the Prickets in the title of this video, advanced, because this is advanced. This is, not everybody will understand this immediately. Some people will take some time, and not for everyone this will be relevant. It is totally fine to utilize techniques. I utilize them very often. They're wonderful. But also, in an advanced way, know that you are the operant power, that you can just shift. That if you say so, it is so. You are where you are within. And if you say you are there right now, you are there. And if you don't swift away from that, that also has to find expression, that inner shift that you just did. Right? So techniques are optional, but they would not be required, because it is the I amness, it is our awareness that shifts. Right? And the imagination is awareness, is God in motion. So if we imagine something, we move inside of that awareness into that portion of creation, into that state, into that reality where we already have what we want to have, where we already are we want to be. So it already exists, right? And imagining a scene which implies that is wonderful, is so helpful, is so potent. I use it again most of the times. But at the end, that the fact that we imagined the scene, that was not the cause. The cause was our awareness, and we simply used the scene to shift our awareness into the state of the wish fulfilled. So that's why, of course, technique can help you to shift into a new state, right? But you can also just declare. And now, the quote from the beginning, I am is the reality to which whatever happens we must turn for an explanation of the phenomena of our life. It is I am's concept of itself that determines the form and scenery of its existence. Right? So you can imagine the equation would be I am, this blank slate, this pure, open awareness that is not identified with anything, that plus an identification, financial stability, financial abundance, right? I am plus state equals scenery, equals external manifestation, equals expression, equals the manifestation, right? So you as awareness are identified with a state which is then expressed. But in order to shift into a new state, you don't need technique because your awareness, regardless, that is identified with a state. You can also just now identify with a new state. Techniques are helpful tools. Utilize them if you like, but also empower yourself to try to just shift right now, to just shift your awareness, your consciousness to a new state and see how that feels, see if that feels powerful. And let me know, please, in the comments and share it with the community in the comments if you have done that, if that was helpful, if you like to do that, right? Just shift without first needing to like put the requirement on yourself, oh, but I first need to do the techniques because so-and-so said that I need to do those techniques. No, you can do them. They, of course, work. They have all been proven, right? I remember when, isn't wonderful, giving thanks, imagining a scene, and all the other things. But also just shifting would work because you are awareness. Awareness moving through states. Awareness being identified with states. So why not just zoom out as awareness and just shift right now? Boom, direct shift in the new state. Try it out. Let me know how that works for you. And if you find it helpful, or if you're more like a fan of doing techniques, which is totally fine, totally normal. And if you need help with that, then you can check out the 2 links in the video description. One is my free masterclass, if you want to learn like the manifestation process more. And one is my program and my community, if you want to be part of that. And I'll speak to you in the next one. Bye, guys.